So there goes the audio, so people can hear your lovely voice, and now they see
My
you.
Saul voice.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, didn't have mine muted, so now there's playback. Congratulations, Eric.
My Saul voice.
Yeah. All right. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's going on? What's good? How's it
Not
going?
bad.
What's good?
How's everybody doing out there?
I'm doing excellent.
Why don't we start off with what you guys are rocking? I'm going to say it first today. So why don't you guys start with what you got? Because I'm going to be last anyways.
Go ahead, Bill.
What? I'm vaping the same old shit I vape. Oh, shoot. I just closed that. I didn't mean. I'm vaping the same stuff I always vape. My Orion with the POG in it. Actually, I got my plug. I'm rocking the new Dinner Lady. I don't know if it's even out yet. I got it pre-release. This is the Tuck Shop, it's called. It's all the candy flavors, and this is called watermelon slices. It tastes just like those jelly watermelon slices you get. It's killer. I've been completely addicted to it. I think the 60 mil is almost gone from last week.
Damn.
Killing it.
I'll pass it on to Steven. What's up, Swamp Skunk?
He passed it to you, Steven, even though you wanted to go last.
I'm not last this time. So
I got to take care of the kid.
Let's talk about what I'm rocking over here. I got the Orion as well, same color as Mr. Bill, and I'm actually using Hawaiian Pog as well. I got my new little gem ski, the Haku, on top of the Niagara, the dual squonk mod, dual battery. And then, of course, I got the Kami by Torque Mods, and I have a review out right now for Adis. And I got the biochip on top. Also inside that, I got the Lemonade by Keep It 100. And then I'm also rocking the H Cigar VT Inbox V3 with these heavy-ass doors made of metal. So, what about you, Mr. Eric?
Okay, so first and foremost, I actually changed which device had my D Pro Mini on it. So
nice.
now it's the top side from Dovpo and TVC, and I got Phoenix Vapor Blue Punch in there. I got a review up for this. If you see me comment down below as Phoenix Vapor, just click there, the 3 little dots, and you can go watch that guy.
You know what? I just want to say before you go on that you have a top side now, so I officially hate you.
So nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I got my H Cigar Wild Wolf with my Dead Rabbit RTA, and inside of there I've got I've got Now and Vapor Grape. I've got my stacked RTA on top of my Geek Vape Nova, and I've got one in a melon, which is a watermelon flavor in this guy. I've got my Box Mod Mafia Tiny version 2 with Raspberry Lemon Law Lemonade, and I got my Aora RDA on top of there. I've got my Snitch with my Karma on top, and I've got lemon lime from Twisted Sour on there. And then I've got my 3 pods over here. I've got my iJoy Diamond Baby VPC with blue raspberry lemonade.
What does that pod look like? A little penis.
Diamond Baby.
Dude, this thing surprised me. It's actually really fucking good. It's got great flavor, battery life. Anyway, there'll be a review.
The versatility of that's pretty cool too, man. It has all them different things you can do.
Yeah, you can put a jewel pod in it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty neat, and they sent it to me for review, so that always makes me happy. Then I got my Simple X with raspberry. As you can see, I like raspberry lemonade. Raspberry lemonade in there, and then I got my Orion with strawberry lemonade in there. And just so everybody knows, I'm not looking at my fucking feet. I'm building my Pulse X as we do this here.
Yeah, so, let me know how that turns out for you, how easy it was.
It's I had one. I'll say this really quick. I do want to talk about the top side a little bit more, and I was hoping Steve would talk about his. I don't know how to pronounce it right. Kami.
Tommy?
Yeah, the Kami. Yeah.
And before we get into the video thing, but yeah, one problem I had, and I'll maybe get to Tony on this, but when the leads, sometimes they'll get pushed to the side, and if you're not getting those screws exactly on top of the leads, like perfectly, it actually says no atomizer. So I know with other RDAs, the screw just generally has to be touching the lead for it to work. This is not doing the same, and the resistance seems off. But that was with the atomizer having the no atomizer issue. So I'm going to try to get a different build in there, see if it does the same thing. Blah, blah, blah.
So what? The lead has to be what? Completely secured in, or what?
I guess that's what I'm guessing. It's I haven't had the time to play around with it yet, so I'm hoping it's just a simple thing and that I'm just being stupid, which has definitely happened. So
did you check maybe, is there a positive or negative screw on, is there a negative screw on the bottom of the deck? Is it all the way screwed in?
Yeah, it is.
Well, then I don't know.
So yeah, that extra little screw screws people up sometimes.
It does. That's true.
Well, it's up to you, man. You want to talk about the Kami first? You want to talk about the top side?
Go ahead and talk about the Kami. Because I'm interested in hearing about that shit. I mean, I was really interested in getting one of those myself. So
we're going to talk about the Kami Ha. Get it? All right. So looking at this bitch, it is polycarbonate on the back side, and then it's 6060 aluminum, and that's for the middle of the body. All right, so this is a pretty good mod altogether, relatively. There are some negatives to it, and this is more of an irritating negative, is the bottle. The bottle system is, well, first is the proprietary, and that's a, you know, some people don't like that shit.
Easy for you to say.
Almost. And they only give you one bottle. If you're going to be a proprietary bottle system, you got to add 2 bottles. And for the price tag being $178, I think it is more than necessary to have 2 bottles.
Agreed.
I agree.
Right there,
even the Furion gave 2 bottles.
That's what I mean. There's bottles cost like what, 50 cents? I mean, come on, man. They don't cost that much.
Yeah.
And right here, where the bottle meets this metal part, liquid comes out of there, which makes e-liquid go around the cabin of the bottle, and that's like a really annoying negative. So the next thing, I've had the original one. I had the original one probably for about 2 months. So they sent me the updated one. There was originally button rattle. So now this bottom part of the button is very stiff and doesn't like to fire. So that's a negative right there. But I don't know. I guess you have to watch the rest of the review to see the negatives. Altogether, it is a good mod. It's just those little things need to be fixed, and they're very easily fixed. You know what I mean? 18650 all the way up to a 21700. So, you know, if you don't have 21700s, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I was told that people wished that they would have had the SX 485J instead of the 475J, which is what's in it. Are you guys familiar with the SX chip?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the difference, it seems nitpicky for someone to say, you know, one versus the other. If it operates, who gives a shit?
That's what I in the video, I was like, you know what, man, it's a good chip for what it is. A little bit confusing. If you're a DNA user or just any type of user other than this, it's very confusing to get into it and learn it. So that is one thing you're going to have to get into. I mean, what questions did you guys have about it?
I was curious about the form factor a little bit.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. As far as fitting in the hand, do you have to cover the screen with your palm, or can you hold it from the backside too?
You can hold it from the backside, and you can finger fire. And it's actually left hand, right hand friendly. So if you want to thumb fire on either hand, it's actually not bad. I mean, you're going to have to switch it to squonk, but you know,
yeah,
it's not bad for form figure. It's actually very nice in the hand. If they ergonomically, it's there. Just because of the way like it's shaped for the screen is kind of like right here. It fits nice in your hand. So yeah, it's ergonomic.
See, I was worried about it fitting in the hand with that block. It looked kind of blocky in the pictures.
I think altogether for it being a 21700, I mean, you figure this is the VTN box. I mean, it's a little bit taller, but not much wider. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I will say one last thing is, if you can see it on this camera, the 510 is like half a millimeter raised. So, you know, some people don't like that shit, but
yeah, I mean, it's tough when you're getting one for review. There, honestly, and me and Tony have talked about this before. Sometimes when you get one for review, there's little things like the 510's raised, the button doesn't line up right. And I told him, I was like, you know, you'd think they'd send the best models to the reviewers so they have something that's tight.
yeah.
But no, they send the reviewers the cheapest ones, the ones that are screwed up.
They did add a beauty ring that gets rid of the gap, but some people don't like that, and it only fits 22 millimeter RDAs. So, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, the top side here, which, like I said, I do have a review up on the Phoenix Vapor channel.
I was at work. I didn't get a chance to watch a review on it. That I'm interested in.
You should watch it because
Oh.
Brian shouted it out last night. Yep, that's right. But there are a couple little cons with this. Okay, so the bottle cap thing, which I actually didn't say this in the review, but because it wasn't a problem for me, and that's one problem I've been learning with my reviews is I need to say things that aren't a con to me but might end up being a con to somebody else. But when you pull the little cap out, because it pops up here, I'll just do it. When it pops up, it's got a little resistance to it, and I feel like if someone wasn't paying attention, that it'd be very easy to, like, if the bottle was kind of full, or I don't know why you'd be opening it. Yeah, so it kind of, you know, it doesn't like have a super lot of resistance, but it just kind of, you got to yank on it a little bit.
But it's got to have that because it needs the positive pressure.
Right, exactly. Yeah. The other one was, I know that there's not really a reason to take the bottle out if you're not cleaning it, but, you know, we try to put things through their paces when we're reviewing them. So I took the bottle out when there was liquid in it, and liquid did get all up inside the chamber. And also, I don't know how, and this happened after I recorded my review, but somehow juice got inside my battery terminal, which I ended up cleaning out. Good. No, it's not, but it must have been because I was thinking like this. I pulled that squonk bottle out, juice got up and
through the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Is that, could it have gotten in through the bottom right there? Is that not open?
It's not. What I think happened is when I was pulling the bottle out and like I went to catch it and I squeezed, I think it squirted up in there, and then my battery, I put my battery in without realizing. That's why I didn't like do an update or anything, because I'm pretty sure it was my fault. But when I put the battery in, I'm pretty sure it got on the battery, which then like spread it around the battery terminal in there.
No, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you about taking the bottle out, because if I switch flavors, I want to take my bottle out and clean it. I'm not one of those people who dumps a flavor on top of an old flavor. That's
hell no.
Oh, and that's really easy. He includes an Allen key with extra screws to take the carriage apart and pull the bottle out. You can also just put some hot water and Dawn on the inside without having to pull the whole carriage apart.
Who's Dawn?
Shut up, Steve. Shut up.
I just thought I'd ask.
Anyway, God damn it, you got me all distracted and thinking about.
See, I was going to say, because I usually waste a couple milliliters of moonshine, and I put that in the bottle, and I let that soak for like an hour or two. Then I take it out and just run some hot water under it, and I don't get no flavor, no residual flavor at all.
See, I won't tell you guys what I use to clean my bottles, because it's something that if someone used it wrong, it could be bad. But
you ain't putting butane in your bottle, are you?
No.
Oh, all right.
No.
Butane.
I've heard that.
Okay, I'll just say what it is. It's like this espresso machine cleaner, but it's extremely acidic. So if you use too much or leave it in too long, it could be very bad. So I was taught how to do it from somebody who now vapes but used to work at a coffee stand forever. So I feel comfortable doing it for that reason, but I
Does
don't
that
really.
does that get rid of the smell?
Yes, it
Really?
does.
Yes.
Yes.
Where do
I
you
either use moonshine or cheap vodka.
see? I use alcohol sometimes, but like
I won't use rubbing
alcohol.
alcohol for some reason. I can taste that afterwards.
Really? Wait, where do you get the espresso cleaner? Like any store?
I got mine on Amazon.
Yep.
Do you got to dilute it, or is it just?
Oh, I dilute the shit out of it. I just put a little bit. See, that's what I mean. I kind of have my own little eyeball where I know where to stop. I've never I should measure it, right? So
I've heard someone else say that they use the cleaning solution you get at Walmart for the Keurig coffee makers.
Yeah, same difference. It's like descaler. Yeah.
I'll have to try that out.
It works.
Speaking of coffee, here you go. You want to laugh at me? This is what happens when you're so desperate to save your favorite coffee mug.
Oh
that
my
is
goodness.
JB Weld holding the handle back on.
I thought that was that spray can stuff. You ever seen that? That that'll make your like boat out of a screen door. You know what I mean?
Funny.
No, I use JB Weld. I'm like, that thing ain't never coming off of there now.
Yeah. Well, hey.
But the other kind of thing with the top side is, and actually now that I've had it a little longer, it doesn't seem as bad. But when I first had it, it was kind of really hard for me to squonk and then fire at the same time. You know, like the quick little, you know what I'm saying? The quick 1-2 punch. But now I've kind of found a way. I kind of got to hold my finger up here by the actual little top fill part. And I think it was intentional because there are these little lines right here. So I kind of hold my finger here. I hold my hand right by the button. And then I just kind of 3-finger it. I like to be able to 2-finger it, but you know what I'm saying? If I ever have to use my whole hand, then that's an issue. You know, that was just not how it was.
Are we still talking about Dawn?
Yeah, we're talking about Dawn.
Dawn, she gets around, man. She knows what she's doing. Hey, wait.
You're gonna have to 3-finger it. If you 2-finger it, you ain't touching the sides.
I want to shout out DBS or DB Squonks. Thanks for being here. He's
What's up, DB?
asking. He shouted you out, Mr. Politician, and you know.
Oh,
congrats on the win, DB.
What?
Oh, congrats! Damn, and I just sent DB a. You're lucky. And what's up, Fictitious?
Your mod, is it? It's pretty ergonomic then, right?
Yeah, I would say that it's like if you haven't used these style, there's plenty that kind of look. The TAC 21 comes to mind that kind of have the same form factor, which I've never owned any of those. It took me a second to get used to, but it's kind of similar to a taller Therion, I guess, in terms of kind of how it feels.
Yeah.
Is it 21,700?
Yep.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
I'll have hopefully after the expo I'll have a new mod to show off. I've been saving up because ever since I heard that the guys from Checkmate Mods is going to be at the expo, I've been saving up, and I think I'll have just enough when the day arrives.
So wait, did the Vegas expo happen yet or no?
November 9th.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
So, do you want to go ahead and go into this video? And you're the one who found it, Steve. So,
I think so.
I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna show the video, but if you want to kind of talk about,
show the video, and I'm
gonna say what's up.
See this twat waffle.
What's up, Philly Vapes? He's in here too.
Oh, Philly.
The luckiest man in the world, Philly Vapes.
Yeah.
Why is he the luckiest man in the world?
Because he's winning all types of shit up in here.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. By the way, if you ever win anything from me, it will take at least a month for me to send it, but I will send it. So
I know. He said he was sending me something. Too. I still don't know what it is. I haven't gotten it.
Maybe it's a birthday cake.
My birthday was in August. Too late.
So we're going to play this video that Steve found. So I'm going to play that really quick, and then we're going to come back and talk about it. And chat, we want your input when you watch this as well.
Yes. everybody in chat, if you could watch this and let us know what you think, because we have a certain type of feeling about this, and you should let us know what you think.
So that means we're going to shut up for a second, play this, and...
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up.
But his previous releases,
Yeah,
they
'cause I'm
didn't
watching
hold a
this
candle
really
to the
Bill.
literal bomb he was about to drop. Now, before we get into this, it looks like it's getting a little smoky in here. You've all heard of Candy Pens, right? Well, if the name doesn't ring a bell, I got a good feeling you've seen them before. Candy Pens was named Best Vaporizer of 2018 by High Times due to its combination of popular technology and flashy design. And Candy Pens, well, they're quickly becoming the go-to choice for vaping in the hip-hop and rap community, with co-signs from DJ Khaled, Fatboy SSE, Young M.A., Amber Rose, and A$AP Rocky. In fact, A$AP's got his own line called the Flacco Jody Collection, and Amber Rose, well, she's got billboards all over Los Angeles promoting her own signature line. Now, Candy Pens are for those 18 years and older, and seeing as I'm the official YouTube ambassador, well, they've given me the ability to get you 25% off your entire order during checkout. There's a link down below. Use the promo code BTWF25. And I'm just realizing now that my intern has her. He's hooked on this stuff. He's like stolen everything. In the spring of 2008, Lil Wayne unveiled the Carter.
All right, there we go. That's it. There, we played it.
All right. So are we back? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
It's still playing. All right. Yes. All right. So I watch some of these videos sometimes, and I was just watching this video because it popped up in my my timeline on YouTube or whatever it is. Just popped up on things you might like to watch. So I started watching it and watching the video, and I see this pop up. Now, the only issue I have with this, well, there's many issues I have with this. The first issue being, I would imagine that most of his followers or subscribers are sub 18 to 18, maybe into the early 20s. Okay, early 20s, not worried about them. But that is promoting to buy vaping for the absolute wrong reason, and I feel like that's what gets it into kids' hands, and that's what gets the vape community the bad rap that it has. And that is another reason for them to not like what we're doing as a community as a whole, because of that type of promotion. That kind of promotion, that guy has no reason to promote that other than to get money for himself and for no other reason. That doesn't help anyone who's trying to quit smoking. That is promoting people to just buy it for his pocket, and I don't agree with that at all. And you got to look at his subscriber count. His subscriber count is in the million, at least a million, I would think. And that's going out to how many underage people? That's not okay to me. So,
preach, brother, preach.
Yeah, I said the same thing. DB Squam's called out exactly what I said. It looks like a dry herb vaporizer, something for vaping wax or flour or something like that.
So I Googled it, and it's one of them that does both.
For wax and flour?
No, it also, so like there's also this Yokan Sticks pen that you can use for wax, but you can also put juice in it.
Yeah, I've seen those.
So this is one of those. So you can use juice in it, and he doesn't make reference to herb. That's the problem with it, is even if it is intended for pot, it wasn't advertised in that sense. And so that advertisement did was a reflection on the vape industry, right? Because a person who doesn't know that, we're well educated on the vape industry. I wouldn't say I'm well educated on anything else, but we're well educated on the vape industry. And so when we see that, we do think, and Bill, you know more about the vape industry than I do. And so when you see that, yes, you're going to deduct that, oh, that's probably for dry herb. But an average person who's never vaped, who doesn't smoke pot either, is not going to think, oh, this is for pot. No, they're going to see something called Candy Pens on a pop culture show that, like Steve pointed out, primarily is targeting high school kids and people in the early 20s, which is fine for them to see it, but that's definitely not an age-restricted channel, so that's not an age-restricted advertisement. And plus, even if it is for herb, that's still lumped in with the vaporizer scene. We're getting attacked as well for kids vaping pot. And
I mean,
to call
just
something,
look at the name.
That's what I was going to say. To call something Candy Pen, if I meet, I'll go slap DJ Khaled's cigar out of his fucking mouth for that shit.
Exactly.
Are you seriously?
Candy?
Are you seriously going to? Yeah, I got a 12-year-old kid. You know what I mean? And if fucking DJ Khaled was walking down the street advertising candy pens, I'd have to break his fucking jaw because you don't. That is just blatant to me.
Dude, when I saw the name Candy Pen, it made me think of those old fucking fake cigarette bubblegum things that you blow on and the little puff of powder comes out. That was the first thought that came to my head.
And
well, even if you think about it, though, man, people under 18 technically shouldn't be smoking pot. You know what I mean? I mean, I know.
Agreed.
I mean, I know personally, I can, that it's not the case in most places, but either way, calling it candy pen is definitely going. Who? That's like the whole whatever argument is candy names, candy flavors, candy this. You can't.
Yep.
It's all promotion for kids. Now, whether or not I agree with that, I don't technically agree with that, but that's their argument. So
but here's another thing. They're pointing out people like DJ Khaled and all them.
Exactly.
No offense. Most of their followers are freaking 14 to 16 anyway.
Exactly. All those people's followers, current events is mostly high school to, like we said, early 20s. So that stuff to me is not acceptable.
And one thing I don't really advertise or talk about, like I'm known as the vaping politician, right? That's because I'm involved in politics, but I wasn't always that way. I grew up in rough neighborhoods. I was I was a gang. At least I thought I was a gang member myself. And I'm a good rapper. I make good rap. I'm white. I'm a white boy, but I can spit. That's, so hip hop culture is actually something I know. And this really fucking disappoints me. When Steve sent me that, it's funny because I was sitting in the passenger seat of my girlfriend's car, and he put it up in our chat this weekend and was like, what do you guys think of this? And I played it, and I just started screaming, and I was like, because I actually have ways to get into DJ Khaled's ear. And so I was like, I'm going to call this person and get him to call Khaled and tell Khaled to fucking call me, because I'm just restraining myself right now because all I'm going to say is violent things, and I'm not a violent person anymore. So I'm just going to stop for a second. What is chat saying? Horrible name for a vape. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Most of them are just saying you can tell it's for weed and this and that. And
yeah, I mean, once they said best vape by High Times, that right there sent up a red flag.
Right.
Yeah. But I think that, either way, they're just not promoting it right, and it shouldn't be promoted like that. If you can't even put links in your description for vape stuff, why is that? He shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean?
It's because he makes YouTube too much money. He's like, but us little vape guys, who our biggest guy has 1 million subscribers, we don't have the power. We don't have, YouTube could do without losing, they could do without Rip Trippers. They couldn't do it without Mike, whatever his name is, who I actually, I'm not, okay, I am kind of upset at him, but not as much as the company who named their fucking vaporizer device Candy Pen. Candy Pen. Putting it with a K doesn't make it any damn better. Oh my God.
And then that they probably contacted him where he has no knowledge about any of the stuff going on in the vape community, and was like, sure, you're going to give me money for this? I'm going to put it out there. So it's like, all right, I can't.
They probably handed that to Khaled and said, here, take a puff of this and we'll give you $20,000.
It's just like, I just don't agree with that whole promotion. So I just think that it's a wrong look for the vape community.
I totally agree. And, we've got all this stuff going on with advocacy right now, and it just seems like horrible fucking timing to be doing some. And how do they get to advertise anyway?
Exactly. Like, what is his show is basically talking about like current celebrities and stuff. And his show never had that promotion on it before, but now it's just like, it's in every single one now. So it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Well, actually, the funny part is remember when I was watching, I asked you, is it that one guy who looks like a douche nozzle with his son next to him? Yeah. The one I watched was of him unboxing the candy pen being delivered to him.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I was watching. He had it was a huge box, and he was just pulling envelopes upon envelopes out of it. So yeah, it's douchebag.
So Fictitious is pointing out the weed industry has fought for decades to earn their place, and they're also under fire to a certain degree for candy-like appeal. So either way, it's poor marketing, and that's a very good point.
Most of the edibles are candy.
My girlfriend used to own a medical marijuana shop. Her brother right now runs a recreational grow that's legal because we live in Washington State. And one of the ways I got involved in politics was through advocating for legalizing marijuana. So
I think it should be legal. I don't find anything wrong with that.
I agree. And vaping, you know what I mean? And I do think they kind of go hand in hand. And that's why the video pisses me off so much, because they're seen kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know, the article's out right now. Teens are vaping pot. Of course they have to say vaping pot, right? Yeah. They want to make they don't say vaporizing. And I get it.
Hey, vaporizers have been out since I was in high school, man. I mean, not pen version, but they've been out for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And it's not only this way.
I remember using the little bags. I forget what they're called. I had a buddy who had one of those. There's also these little boxes that just have a tube that run off of it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's not like it's anything new, but that way, again, the way they're promoting it, candy pen, vape pot, children, whatever, it's like, that's not the greatest way.
I'll give you a laugh. Do you know when the first patent was produced for an e-cigarette?
1963.
No. Come on.
1910.
1932.
Damn.
1932.
1932. The problem is the guy was using olive oil.
Wait, what is it?
Olive oil.
I thought you were gonna say it was the size of a suitcase.
Oh no, it was a pretty big device. It was about the size of, honestly, I'm trying to think of something that would be the size. It was, I'd say, about the size of a CD case, but it was like good 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
And it had like 4 the old cardboard wrap batteries in it. I actually saw it. There's an article about it somewhere. But the guy was putting olive oil and corn oil or something in it.
That's what they vaped, was oil? Like corn oil?
Yeah, real oil back in the day. They were vaping, I think it was peanut oil was the main one.
I'm sure that wouldn't fly. Nowadays, so many people are allergic to peanut oil, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But still, you don't want to vape straight oil into your lungs.
Hell no. No.
But that was the first patent, was back in the early 30s.
And I thought that, so maybe what I had to twist it up with, the one that was the closest to the modern one was in the 60s, right?
Yes, there was a modern one in the 60s.
Well, I remember when I was in high school, the blue e-cig was coming out, and people
made me feel old. Thank you.
And that's like, people, I was probably about 18 or so, and I mean, we were able to get them, and the thing is, it's like those things were awful. I mean, they only lasted about 10 minutes, and I don't see how those are going to help anyone, really, unless you're just taking a puff every 15 minutes or something.
The one that I started on was called a White Dragon, and it was a cigarette like the blue, and had a piece of polyfill, and you used to put a couple drops. You have to pull the filter off, the filter section that looked like a filter, put 2 drops of juice in there, snap it back on, and then you'd hit it. And that thing, you'd get more juice in your mouth than you'd get vapor. Yeah. And the funny part is when the wick finally burned out, we had to go to the pet store, and you had to get that polyfill for the fish tank filters and cut a little piece out of there and tuck it down in there with a toothpick. That was your wick.
I feel like the next thing you're going to say is we had to walk 10 miles uphill through snow.
Oh, please.
I thought the next thing he was going to say was he was changing his YouTube channel to White Dragon.
Oh, hell no.
White Dragon Vapes, man.
Did we talk since old dumbass Scotty Too Hottie, as NorCal Sick Boy calls him, did his whole "we might ban online sales" thing?
No, we have not.
Wait, what happened?
Well, where Scott Gottlieb went on the C-SPAN show. Now, I will say that the guy was really prompting him. When I first saw it, I was angry. I was like, man, he just said he's going to ban online sales. But then I rewatched it, and the guy was kind of teasing him, trying to get stuff out of him that was interviewing him. And he basically said banning online sales isn't off the table. That's how I actually took it. Initially, when I watched it, I was like, man, he's going to do it. But when I rewatched it under a more clear mind,
it seemed like he was pandering.
Right, exactly.
You know, okay, so what, they want to get rid of online sales because what? Kids can get in there easily? Is that why? Or what's the deal? Why do they want to get rid of online sales?
Basically, to be quite honest, it's because the industry is kind of killing itself by not doing its job. I know that's not a popular thing to say, but I don't think the industry does good enough at making sure online sales are safe.
No offense, between you and I, it's a window pops up. Are you 18 or older? Yes or no? My fucking 12-year-old niece would be smart enough to click the yes and move on.
Right.
But Element Vape, actually, or Vapor something, one of the two websites online, I had to send a picture of my ID.
I've had to do that too, but they need to all do that, Steve.
That's what I'm getting at. They need to do that.
I'm gonna release something, and I'm gonna put a video out there to see if it actually happens. All right. Here's the thing: is I have a 10-year-old nephew, and I was running a test. I have a video part of it, and I'm gonna release it entire in about 4 days. I had him go to Heaven's Gifts because his father leaves his credit card information for Samsung Pay on his phone. I grabbed his father's phone. I handed it to him. I said, all right, here's what you're going to do. I told him the website to go to. He turned around. He went on Heaven's Gifts. He ordered a $3 atomizer. That way I didn't get crap for spending my brother-in-law's money. And I had him order that atomizer off Heaven's Gifts. And all he did, are you 18? And he put his birth date in as, I think it was like June 5th, 1963 or something like that. And he ordered it. The purchase went through Samsung Pay. I'm waiting for this to be delivered so I can videotape him getting the package out of the mailbox.
Oh, wow.
Just to kind of open people's eyes how easy it is to buy shit.
It needs to be, you need to be able to show your ID. That's you're going to have to do that.
There's a couple websites on Facebook groups that I'm a member of where you actually, to become a member, have to send them a picture of your driver's license next to a piece of mail with your home address on it.
I mean, hey, I think that if you really want to be safe about it and not let the lawmakers have any kind of room to say anything, because that's something, you know what, it might be inconvenient at first, but it's better for us as a whole, you know?
I agree. I wouldn't mind if it makes it safer and it shuts off John and Jane Q public about, vaping's harmful and they're pandering to kids. I wouldn't mind going through an extra 3 or 4 steps or filling out an entire form to make sure they vet who's ordering and making sure it's worth it.
I think that's necessary. As much as it sucks because it takes more time, you know what? Just do it. Get it over with. And you only have to do it one time. Just do it.
Just do it. I mean, at my vape shop where I hang out, they've already we were joking around. There was a guy in a suit standing on the corner and he's watching us. It's in a swap meet. So he's like one aisle over and I noticed him right away. I mean, being, ex-law enforcement, I kind of pay attention to people when they're standing around. So I see this dingus hanging over and he's in freaking suit. And sure enough, like 2 minutes later, 2 kids walk up. They look like they're in their 20s. They already have mustaches and stuff. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, I want that bottle of juice, and I want this, and I want that. And the kid whips out a wad of cash. And my buddy Ryan turns around, looks at me, and goes, you got ID, guys? And they were like, oh, no, I left it. Can you hook me up? I'll give you an extra $20 and this and that. Finally, Ryan's like, no, listen, you guys, you can't prove your age. You got to get out of here. And he told them, get out of here.
That's the best thing,
Once they walked away, not even 30 seconds later, the guy in the suit who was standing over on the side walked away. I told him, I said, you better keep your eye open, dude.
Did you say that you're former law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
So we need no, I didn't. We need a vape. We need a vape officer, and you are hired, Mr. Bill. No, seriously. Let's raise money, and Bill is going to go around, and he is going to be the industry's. You know how the FDA goes in a test shop? Bill's going to do it so that vapors can expose the bad shops. And you know what I'm saying?
Do that.
Get what I'm saying?
That's a good idea.
I'd do that.
There needs to be someone.
We need to police ourselves because that's the problem is we're not doing that right now.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, I think one of the biggest enemies we have is ourselves. As far as number one, we kind of run willy-nilly, and I think, you know, and I've mentioned this before, is my issue is don't wait till the last fucking minute. You know,
Right.
All right, oh, there's only 3 days left to go in and fill out this form. So everybody rushes to fill out the form and they cripple the fucking system. You know what? If you'd have known about it or paid attention to your industry, you'd have known about it weeks ago. You'd have had the form filled out on 3 different places. Number one. Number two, another thing I hate, once they said August8th.org, when August 8th was around and it was supposed to be done in, what was it, 2016? They were supposed to clamp down on us. I told everybody they postponed it till 2021. I said they're going to come at us sideways from 50 different angles, attacking us in other ways. And sure enough, that's when the juice started happening. The flavor ban started happening. I told everybody, don't rest on your laurels. Pay attention to what's going on. Don't relax because they're going to find other ways to come at you. And sure enough, they started hitting us in 5 different directions already. And I said, and what's going to happen is they're going to chip away at us, chip away at us, chip away at us. And then when August of 2021 comes, they're going to drop the fucking hammer on us.
Well, it's something that people don't want to. They want to push to the back of their mind, man. But it's something you really got to be, proactive about. One thing I want to go back to real quickly. Well, first, DB Squonks. I want to say that a good Hawaiian punch flavor is Boulevard by Wick Liquor.
No,
that is a good. That
Blue
is
Punch
a good.
by Phoenix Vapor. I can give you a discount code. How about that?
Oh, come on, man. All right,
Phoenix
both of
Vapor
them are
Doc-
equally good.
Actually, believe it or not, if you remember the Keep It 100 Tropical, that tastes like, remember when Hawaiian Punch made that yellow colored one? It was like a pineapple punch. That's what the Keep It 100 tastes like.
I don't think I was born yet.
Yeah, I don't think you were born yet.
I seen a video about that punch, but it wasn't around very long. And
actually, the funny part is one of my favorites is the Maui Sun on Naked 100. It tastes like those old Capri Sun juice packs.
Really, I like Capri Suns, man. I used to have those when I was a kid.
Oh, it tastes just like it. That's killer.
I think going back to one more thing with the age verification and all that stuff online, China is like one of the biggest, I think, culprits, man, because all their websites are like, you could probably get away with anything on those websites. I mean, like you said with Heaven's Gifts, man, that's out of China. And
Yes.
You can get anything you want easily, and it just,
But I don't think they're doing it intentionally. I think they do it because they don't have to.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
I
They don't
think
have
they're doing it intentionally because
Right.
if the vape industry in the U.S. goes down, they're fucked.
Yeah. I think they want to play by the rules, but they don't have the same rules. So it's
Exactly. That's why, like with Tony and Mike and them, that's why it takes so long for them to get a mod out because they want it and China builds it right away. But now you got to worry about all the regulations and everything in the U.S. and how to get it through customs. I mean, look at the shit with the Orion vapes. They wanted to save money, so they had to ship the mods and the pods separately. So you had to buy the mod and the pod separately. So you wound up buying 2 things. You had to make 2 purchases to get the shit.
See, luckily I bought mine from, like I said, England. So I don't know if they have that same rule, but I got pods came with mine.
Yeah, I didn't get pods with mine.
Yeah,
I had to buy
order
the
mine.
mod and the pod separately.
Mine actually came with 3 pods, 1 on the device and 2 in extra bags.
What the?
Yeah.
Spoiled
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey man, I waited a little bit longer, but I got hooked up, I guess.
Yeah, I got mine and I loved it. I'll be honest with you. I actually spend more time with this little thing in my hand than any of my other mods.
Same.
I agree with you, man. I think it's actually a surprisingly good pod device, and it's not hard to use. It's pretty simple to use, actually. I'm gonna have a review on it soon. I think it's a good pod, man. Better than most of the other ones.
Yeah, I remember when what's his name, Scott, when he was on the show, was telling me. He told me, he goes, dude, it's killer, and he was bragging about it. And I think the next day I ordered one off of them. I got it like 2 weeks ago. And I love this thing. Love it.
I also, yeah, I really love mine too. It's a really good device. To me, it's just levels above any other pod. Although at the same time, I got this guy, and these are both very impressive too. So I had like my Haka, which you guys all know I used that thing religiously, but I gave mine to my mom because my mom loves those. I gave both of mine that I had to my mom, and I've been rocking these 3. So
I mean, I like the little ones. I have one of the guys I work with. He and I vape the same. I mean, it's funny because once I'm hitting mine, he's hitting his. So we run neck and neck with about the amount of time. He goes through more juice than I do with the Simple X. He goes through a lot more juice than I do. I literally, this little thing lasts me a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I mean, the only problem I have with the pod systems is, man, the hit is so much harder than other hits, man. And I know I read the manual for the Orion, and it says you can use like regular 3 milligram, 6 milligram, but it's not the same flavor or hit. So It's like,
no, it's not. That's why I went with the Pog, because that's got some punchy flavor right away.
It does. That's what I've been using. But
sorry,
I will
guys,
say
I'm nursing a cold here.
I probably will. I go through about maybe a tank of this in 2 or 3 days.
I gotta ask, where'd you get that lanyard?
It came with it.
It comes with it.
I didn't even notice that.
It's in the bottom of the box.
Yeah, I got it.
Damn it! Now I gotta go dig mine out.
And it actually like holds your shit.
All
By
right.
the way, if you go to Phoenix Vapors YouTube, I have an Orion review too. Thank you.
As we get closer to the mic, because it sounds more professional.
Sounds so ominous.
All right, so what else do we
Hurry
want
on
to touch
down to Phoenix Vapor today.
Aisle 5, we have the Orion, and you can pick it up with your box of Orion pods.
Oh, I got something to talk about that I'm super excited about. That in the first couple weeks of December, there is going to be a vape rally in Texas. So it's kind of coinciding. There's this big conference of advocates that are meeting in Texas, and me and Travis Bildergaard, and who else? Oh, Vapor Swaggins and Stan Tenacious TX Vapes. We're kind of organizing this thing, and we're kind of working with Hometown Hero, Sherlock Holmes.
They're good stuff, man.
Yeah, they're good peoples too.
Bitch, it was in there.
And yeah, good job, Captain Obvious. And then so I'm gonna. This is the reason this is so exciting to me is because I get to use my political chops to help organize this rally and MC it. Mr. Just Right One will also be there. It's still very early on, so there'll be a lot more that'll come out later. Bill's gonna come over from Vegas, right?
I would love to.
Wait, when is it?
Oh, and NorCal Sick Boy is going to drive down with me. I'm going to go meet him in Northern Cali. And the date is not exactly hammered down yet. It's going to be the first or second weekend of December.
I mean, man, if I could probably, I don't know, man, maybe I can go to Texas.
If I'll figure out, I can try to work on somewhere for you to stay if you want. So
yeah, I mean, we can talk about this because I think I could take some time off work and I can go.
We're trying to get some reviewers to go down and kind of like draw people out. So Richard, Vaping with Twisted 419 now, also lives in Texas. So hoping that he'll turn out.
Maybe you guys can get Rip Trippers.
Does he live in Texas?
I think he lives everywhere. He's like,
no, he's in North Carolina.
He's like omnipotent. He just lives everywhere.
He's in North Carolina?
I believe he's in the Carolinas.
And that's where Tony is.
Yeah, Tony's in North Carolina.
That's cool.
I think that would actually be a big thing if he did that, because you got to consider how many followers he has.
If he ain't getting paid, he ain't doing shit.
That's what I think too.
He's
but
a twat waffle.
Hey man, he has the following, so I mean it would be big if he would do it.
I'll be honest with you. Here's my thing: he's got the following, but if you watch his videos, Not everybody watches his videos.
Yeah.
I'm sure. They're probably there for giveaways and everything else. But
Yep, that's it.
that's why I try not to do giveaways on my channel. I mean, I will do them, but I feel like that kind of brings the wrong message from your channel.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
all about
Same.
team free shit.
Yeah, I was doing them on my Instagram for a while, and then I stopped for the same thing. I think it's okay to do them on live streams because
I agree.
that's a little different. You're all just hanging out, and the chat is participating in the conversation.
Yeah,
But-
and then Philly Vapes will win it, and then it'll be cool.
Yeah, Philly Vapes wins every fucking thing. But I
No,
don't.
but I think I agree with you. It's okay to do it on live shows. I think that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some people do it on their regular videos, whatever. If a company ever sent me, right now I get very little for free to review, but when it does come, it's only one. It's only the one to review. I'm not big enough for most people to send me anything to begin with, so when they do, it's one. But if I was getting sent like 20 things,
I
my
agree.
live streams would be like, I'd be raining out shit. I'd
Yeah.
be like, yeah, here we
You'd be
go.
like,
I mean, look at Tony. Tony does a review, and when he gets a tank, he gets one of each color.
Right.
You know?
yeah, he gets probably a shit ton.
And another thing I wanted to point out, we're going to be doing our closings here real soon, but someone said to me, I've only seen one bad review from you, like me giving a product a bad score. I've given like average scores to a few. And the reason why is I'm buying 95% of my shit. So I'm going to buy shit that I think I'll actually use. And the only time it gets a bad review is if I was wrong. And at this point, I can pretty much tell from looking at pictures. I try not to watch reviews. I'll watch presentation videos, but I try not to watch reviewers outside of the person who created the product. So mostly it's pictures, looking at pictures, and I kind of know what's going to work for me at this point.
No, you sound like Tony, because Tony does the same thing. And Tony even said in his videos, people say, I've never heard you give a bad review. He told the guys flat out on a video that he said, I only review what I like. That's it. He says, if I don't like it, I just don't review it. He goes, why would I put in the effort to review a product I didn't like?
Exactly.
Give it promotion.
That's
too much involved, editing and everything, just to say, I don't like it. So if he doesn't like it, he just throws it in a box and he doesn't review it.
However, if something has a lot of hype and I don't like it, I may do a review for it because
that I want to understand
my opinion. But I agree with that, dude. It takes a lot of time to edit, to do all that stuff, to just be like, oh, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like you could just say that outright.
Or you can just do what Jay Hayes does and hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Ask Ambitions what happens when you do that.
What happens?
What happened?
And I love that. Well, I was freaking out because I did a Zeus a Geek Vape Aegis Legend video where I wanted to test out all of the claims they made. So I did like throw it against a wall and run it over with a car. And after the Ambitions thing happened, I was like, oh shit, is he going to get pissed that I,
Everybody did that. Even Rip Trippers threw his out the second story of window of his house.
Yeah.
So wait, did it still work after all that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? As much as I give crap to people who make like these grandiose claims about what their mod can do, the Aegis Legend lived up to every bit of it.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
So speaking of Jay Hayes, did you guys see that he has a mod coming out and an RDA coming out?
Yeah, I'll be getting that RDA. The mod, I'm not. You have to be like one of his high tier Patreons to get, but I will be getting an RDA that I'll be purchasing.
I'm gonna try to get one too to review.
I didn't see them yet, so I don't know.
So it's still, I put a whole new set of coils in here. So
the PulseX RDA does come in the PulseX kit.
Yeah, and I put a whole new set of coils in here. The leads are all looking perfectly fine. I've screwed it down. I made sure my 510 pin was in tight, and it is still telling me check atomizer, and the resistance will jump all over. It'll work for a second, and then it'll tell me check atomizer. So
did you do an update on it?
On the device?
Yeah.
Does it need an update?
Yeah. I believe they're already due for an update.
I will try that before I give up on it. But
Yeah, definitely try and update it because if worst comes to worst, talk to Tony, message Tony, and I'm pretty sure he knows who you are. He's been on the show, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll take care of you himself.
all right, I will do that. Yeah. Anyway, it's 6:58.
9:58.
Oh my! All right, I'm gone.
Curtain call.
Okay, I was trying to be funny, and now my headphones are all tangled all over shit. This is a mess.
That's what you get for not respecting time zones.
Uh,
All right.
All right.
Well, Mr. Eric or Mr. Bill, would you guys like to send it out?
I'll let you guys do it. The only thing I'm going to say is November 9th, Vape Expo Las Vegas. Make sure you're here. It's supposed to be huge. From what I was told, it's a lot of the higher end guys are going to be out there. I mean, there's going to be some mid-range guys like Vaping Architect, I already know is going to be out there. The guys from Plug, Connor's going to be out there. But from what I was told, there's going to be a lot of discounts going on. A lot of discounted shit.
Cool.
Hey, make sure you take a video and stuff while you're there, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my camera with me and actually videotape a lot of stuff.
Where can people find your YouTube channel, Mr. Bill?
Cooper's Vaping View. Search on YouTube for Cooper's Vaping View. You will find me. Go ahead and throw me a sub. Get me up to 100 so I can have my own stream and actually start doing more stuff.
Where can people find Mountaineer Vapes?
Oh, on YouTube at Mountaineer Vapes. And
oh wait, we're there.
You can find me at Instagram at Mountaineer_Vapes_. And I got a Haku review coming up soon. And I would like to thank Mr. Eric and Mr. Bill for being here. Please subscribe to them as well if you're subscribed to me and you're not to them already.
And you can find me at youtube.com/Phoenix Vapor or on Instagram at vaping_politician. Oh,
Yeehaw.
wait. Too much silence. It is 7 o'clock.
Nah, 10, man.
All right, we're stopping the stream.